Welcome to ClockClass.com. I'm David LaBounty. Today we will give you an introduction into clocks. Clocks come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. There's wall clocks and mantel clocks, floor clocks and street clocks. They do a lot of different things. There's time only. There's time and strike. Here's a time, strike, and chime mantel clock. This one has 3 wind holes. The one on the right is for the chime. The one in the middle is for the time, for the indication of the hands, runs the hands. The one on the left is for the strike. Now the difference between chime and strike, chime is what the clock does at the quarter hours, the tune that it plays. This is playing the Westminster chimes. Strike, then, is what the clock does at the hour to denote the hour. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, and 12. So it's 12 o'clock. This one is a spring-driven clock. It needs to be wound once a week. It's an 8-day spring-driven clock. And when you wind a spring-driven clock, push, turn, gently let it back against the stop. You don't want to snap the key. You can get in a rhythm. Wind it up fully, and this clock has just been wound, so it's already fully wound. You can't overwind the clock, but you can stress the key or the arbor by trying to take it past fully wound. Okay, if your clock is having a tendency to stop after it's been wound, the mainsprings are sticky. They're sticking together. The lubrication is dirty and dry, and that is an indication it's time to get it serviced, not that you've overwound your clock. As I mentioned, this is an 8-day clock, needs to be wound once a week. There are other clocks which are 30-hour. There are some clocks which run for a month. There are some clocks which run for a year. This particular clock is an 8-day time, strike, and alarm. That's what this little disc is here, minute and hour hand. This clock on the left is also time, strike, and alarm, but this one is 30-hour. Notice how high up and in the wind arbors are and how far down they are on this clock. For American clocks, that's a pretty easy way of telling whether they're 30-hour or 8-day. The 8-day clocks are more desirable because you only have to wind them once a week rather than once a day like you do with these 30-hour clocks. Okay. Here are a couple examples of time-only clocks. Time-only, spring-driven. You can see they only have 1 wind hole. So they do not strike or chime.